These islands are primed and positioned to be able to supply the entire Bahamas with whatever we need. If Grand Bahama pops up and say, hey, I'm going to do a chicken farm and I'm only going to supply it to Bahamians. Andros said, let's do goats and sheep and cows. And Luther said, let's do this or let's do that. We can position ourselves to cut this billion-dollar food bill that we have down to almost nothing.
This young man's vision is critical to any hopes of Bahamian farmers raising animals to feed ourselves. Dean has worked the numbers, and his method of providing feed, when it becomes widely available, will be a big help to livestock farmers around the country. Until then, he'll continue to perfect his craft in a windowless box in San Andros. When it comes to food production, Andros can no longer remain the sleeping giant. Successive governments have recognized the importance of Andros and our goal toward food security, and the investment in farm institutions there is proof that we're on our way. The concern remains the amount of farmers needed to make an impact. But one thing is sure, when the number of farmers starts to catch up, the opportunities and land will be there waiting for them on Andros.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Bright lights and homes shaking. Grand Bahamians witness a passing meteor.
I saw a light flash. Thought it was a lightning. Then I heard the house shake and the door rattling.
Also, the rollout of the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine in Abaco. We have the details. And tonight, we feature a couple who is celebrating the fruit of their labor. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Shashina Wolf-Farquharson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping the news, a coroner's inquest is underway in the capital into the deaths that occurred during Hurricane Dorian in September 2019. According to police, the inquest got underway yesterday, and DNA is being used to bring some closure on these matters. At last report, the official death toll from Hurricane Dorian was pegged at 67. 10 of those victims are from Grand Bahama, and some 29 persons are still listed as missing on the island. Now, we spoke with Donovan Bowe, who was the chief counselor at that time when Hurricane Dorian dealt a deadly blow to East Grand Bahama.
Those still missing are thought of with great fondness. We are people who believe in God, and we know one day that the sea will give up the dead, as described in Revelation 20. We continue to press forward in the rebuilding of our communities, doing so in a more resilient fashion, through the kind help of so many organizations, both near and far. Dorian's mark is etched in history, but undoubtedly it's etched in our hearts.
Bo says while the inquest may be a step towards closure for some who have recovered loved ones, he says for these family members still unaccounted for, the struggle continues.
To learn of the beginning of the inquest into the victims of Hurricane Dorian was in itself bittersweet, as it represents some form of closure to families dealing with the entire ordeal. But contrastingly so, in my estimation, it could have happened sooner. Nevertheless, the residents are grateful that those remains which were recovered can now be formally identified through DNA evidence. East Grand Bahama residents are grateful that this initiative is taking place, and we are pleased that a new level of closure will come to those who continue to mourn for their loved ones.
In other news, bright lights, houses shaking, and many left in awe as a meteor illuminated the dark late last evening, streaking diagonally across the sky and projected to have landed right off of West End. Tonight, residents are sharing their experience with this rare occurrence.
Sonic boom that was in the Bahamas, heard in the Bahamas. How about that?
And I saw a light flash, thought it was a lightning. Then I heard the house shake and the door rattling.
Gloria Colley Lightborn's experience was like many throughout Grand Bahama who heard, felt, or saw the exploding fireball that illuminated the night sky in Florida and the Bahamas.
Oh my gosh, what is that in the sky? Whoa.
Home surveillance capturing the phenomenon that brought an instant burst of daylight for just a few seconds.
Because I really thought it was Judgment Day.
Other residents also weighing in with their experience.
I heard something. I heard a boom, but I really didn't know because, you know, sometimes you think it's like maybe a tire blowout or something like that. That's all I thought really of it.
I was sitting here watching TV. I heard it. The door, sliding glass door, shook a little bit. I said, oh, well, that's my wife making noise upstairs. But I was surprised it was so close to us.
Many residents taking to social media trying to make sense of what happened. Many adding that their initial thought was it was the end of the world.
You know, as I said, something down by the harbor, because to hear it where we live, and then I found out from my friends down more on the west side, they said they heard it. So, but I didn't see the bright light in the sky.
I saw some names say maybe somebody fell down or something like that. Some people were obviously terrified, really, really terrified, and some really thought it was the rapture. So it was interesting to see how people responded to it, you know, because you never know when that day come in.
I really was scared because when I started to play my gospel music, I really thought it was the world coming to an end, honestly. But I was scared. It was really, I have a headache due to me not sleeping last night.
According to the American Meteor Society, which documents fireballs, reports, and calculates the path of suspected meteors, believes that the fireball, which is defined as another term for a very bright meteor, traveled south to north about midway between the Atlantic coast of Florida and the western tip of Grand Bahama. Switching gears now, researchers from Colorado State University have released the forecast for the 2021 hurricane season. The forecast calls for an above-average hurricane season in terms of the total number of storms, including 17 named storms, 8 hurricanes, and 4 major hurricanes. An average hurricane season usually produces 12 named storms. 6 of those typically become hurricanes, and of those, 3 typically become major hurricanes, which is Category 3 or higher. The United States National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration will release their forecast for the 2021 season in late May. More than 15,000 persons have been inoculated since the COVID-19 vaccine was rolled out in the country, included in that number 25 on Grand Bahama. Health officials say vaccination is one way to help stop the spread of the virus. The Grand Bahama Health Service is expected to ramp up the vaccination program on Grand Bahama this week. We have a report.
The Public Hospitals Authority and the Grand Bahama Health Services rolling out the second round of the COVID-19 vaccine on Grand Bahama. The vaccine will be administered beginning Wednesday, April 14th, 2021. Appointments for this week will be available Wednesday, April 14th through Friday, April 16th at the Susan J. Wallace Center between the hours of 8 a.m. to 12 noon and 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Vaccine administration will be conducted on Saturday, April 17th at the 8 Mile Rock Clinic between the hours of 8 a.m. to 12 noon and 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Only residents of the 8 Mile Rock and West End communities will be eligible for inoculation at that location. Persons seeking to receive the vaccine must register to obtain an appointment by using the official registration site vax.gov.bs. Vaccinations will only be given to persons registered for an appointment. Persons without internet access or needing assistance with registration may contact their local church or local government office. Eligible priority groups now include healthcare workers, persons 50 years of age and older, uniform branches, that is, RBDF, RBPF, COVID ambassadors, Bahamas Department of Correctional Services, Customs and Immigration, teachers and staff of schools, hospitality workers, which include hotel and resort employees, public transportation workers, Grand Bahama International Airport staff, shipyard, industrial companies and Port Authority staff, cruise port, straw market, port and beach vendors and tour operators, restaurant and retail workers, students and athletes studying or competing abroad, coaches and other support personnel, members of the clergy, and accredited media, which include editors, reporters, anchors, photographers, and videographers. The public is encouraged to closely follow all advisories and announcements from the Ministry of Health and Public Hospitals Authority for further information about the COVID-19 vaccination process. Shamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, the National COVID-19 Vaccine Consultative Committee rolling out the COVID-19 vaccine in Abaco this week. Megan Shepard has the schedule for mainland Abaco and the Keys.
The administration of the COVID-19 vaccine on Abaco and the Keys will take place from Thursday, April 15th to Monday, April 19th. Residents from the following priority groups are eligible to receive the vaccine: healthcare workers, persons 50 years of age and older, uniformed branches, which include the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, Royal Bahamas Police Force, COVID ambassadors, Customs and Immigration, teachers and staff of schools, and hospitality workers. Vaccinations will take place at the following locations: on Thursday, April 15th, at the Foxtown Clinic between 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., at the Cooperstown Clinic between 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., and at the Green Turtle Key Clinic between 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. On Friday, April 16th, at the Marsh Harbor Clinic from 8 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. On Saturday, April 17th, at the Guana Key All-Age School between 8 a.m. to 11 a.m., at the Manowar Key Clinic between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m., and the Hopetown Clinic between 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. On Sunday, April 18th, vaccinations will take place at the Sandy Point Clinic between 8 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. On Monday, April 19th, at the Moores Island Clinic from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., and at the Marsh Harbor Clinic from 4 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Online and on-site appointments are available. To make an appointment online, visit vax.gov.bs. A Bahamian government-issued ID is required. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
In other news, the Progressive Liberal Party's Grand Bahama Women's Branch hosting a women's wellness workshop this past Saturday. A number of presenters were on the lineup to share some important information on how women can get battle ready by first taking care of themselves. Megan Shepard has this report.
It was a day of camaraderie and information exchange at the Progressive Liberal Party's Women's Wellness Workshop hosted by the Grand Bahama Women's Branch. Interim Chairperson Carolyn Ramin Kinglock says that the Women's Branch wanted to help women understand the importance of not only taking care of themselves physically and financially, but also sharing why they should cater to themselves.
So we have the medical personnel who would be doing pressure testing, and informing them the different aspects of health, even informing them about the COVID situation, what to be aware of and to maintain social distances and to remain safe. Also, we have the masseuse who would advise them how important it is to have your massages and physical therapy and taking care of the whole woman.
Vice Chairman of the PLP Northern Branch, Julian Sawyer, says this event was a great way to connect with the community while sharing advice on topical issues. particularly staying safe during this COVID-19 era.
We also want to have that as part of our process to say, hey, it's a serious issue, and we're trying to get to where we are above and as a community, a healthy community, and they're talking mainly about those issues and just trying to reach out to people on issues that affect each one of us right now.
Presenter and registered nurse Pam Ferguson sharing key health tips. She says the topic on the forefront of everyone's mind, COVID-19 do's and don'ts.
When you take a test, you must go into quarantine. Okay, that's a must until you hear your results. You have to go into quarantine. And then, God forbid, if it's positive, then you have to go in isolation, because there's a difference between quarantine and isolation. So it's just some tips that I needed to tell them to make sure we keep safe.
The day also had lots of prizes and surprises. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, back right after this.
On down now. Come on down now. Now, welcome aboard.
Hi, I'm Wes. I'd like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I would like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Let us put shoes on your feet.
Connet Bahamas Mother's Day sale on all merchandise except AC units and special order cabinets. Freeport, Abaco, and Eleuthera. Follow on Facebook and Instagram for more information. Connet Bahamas.
Did quarantine, lockdowns, and curfews help you to discover your inner chef? Well, I want to hear from you. Munching with Megan is back. Let's get cooking.
All new guest chefs and all new flavors. Tune in this and every Wednesday on the ZNS TV network. Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
If you like the gift of giving, then you may want to check out this small Grand Bahama-based business. As our Jamila Mizik tells us, this mother-daughter duo can create greeting cards and invitations for any special occasion. Here's the story.
They may look like ordinary gift boxes, but they are actually personalized greeting cards. These handmade creations are the brainchild of Create by Sharmark, a mother-daughter duo. Momtrepreneur Chardonnay Francis says the business venture started out in 2019 after she was unsatisfied with her options.
We went into a store and we wanted to purchase a card, and of course it wasn't personalized and it was pretty expensive for a basic card, and we wanted to go ahead and make something that's even better and personalized, and that's gonna actually make the moment matter and have memories included in it as well.
She explains the difference between their creations and the generic card.
With our cards, of course, they're personalized and they're handmade. And we go into detail in terms of what the person is looking for, who's receiving the card or the invite, and just try to make it, if their favorite color is red, we try to cater to red. If they have a theme that they really like or a sports team that they like, we try to incorporate that as well.
Now, Chardonnay's 2-year-old daughter, Charlie, is also a part of the business. She shares the importance of supporting small businesses and shopping locally.
So, of course, supporting me supports the economy because I shop here when I purchase my items from my boxes. And of course, like I said, this is my sole provision for my family. So you're not only supporting me, you're supporting my dream and you're supporting my family.
She's encouraging anyone with an idea to take a leap of faith and step outside the box.
I was a trainer before I actually left my job, and I went and pursued something that I really love to do. I've been a crafter from Charlie's age, and so I love doing crafted items. Of course, Corona came last year, and it was difficult, but I pushed, and it brings you joy to wake up every morning and do something that you actually love. And I don't think I was able to say, but we give the gift of joy, and that makes me happy to, I think joy is reciprocated. So it's really the transfer of energy. So that's something that I would say, go for it.
Now you can find them on all social media platforms at Sharma Creates or 552-1913. Shamila Missick, ZNS Network News.
Pilot Club International bringing smiles to the faces of youngsters at the children's home. The club donating 6 tricycles and helmets in keeping with their injury awareness campaign. Governor-elect Karen Ferguson-Bain.
Ride affair, where we want our children to learn to be safe as they play, as they get their exercise. They're also protecting their brain. And so they will carry that information with them as they are small, little, young adults, straight in through being older adults. And so we want them to know that you can play, but you can be safe as you play. And we know that at the Grand Bahama Children's Home, they are always looking for our civic organizations and nonprofit groups to come and help out, because again, the directors can't do it by themselves. The executive directors can't do it by themselves. And so it takes a village in order for this establishment to work.
Director of the Grand Bahama Children's Home, Sarah Kirkby, said that they are certainly thankful for the donation.
We were a bit short on bikes and other recreational activities for them actually in the home. So this is fantastic. Right now they only have one little tricycle that they kind of been fighting over for a couple of months. So this is going to be amazing for our children. We are continued though to be amazed by the donations that pour in for our home. It's like everybody's taken that it's a village, Karen, and just embraced it. And so we cannot say thank you enough. If you want to find out what we need, please give us a call, go online, find us on our website or on our Facebook page, and we just can't thank you enough.
And get this, St. Paul's Methodist College also making a double donation to the Grand Bahama Children's Home. Just recently, 7th graders made a financial donation to the home, and then the school's alumni heard about the Kind Act and decided that they too would give back. Catrice Robinson says they wanted to match the donation of the students, but the money raised far exceeded their expectations.
It was a great initiative for those 7th graders to, take time out, taking their money from their lunch to make that donation to here. And it just shows us if they can see the need as adults, we should also see the need as well. We have a WhatsApp chat group of St. Paul's students that went to St. Paul's between 1969 and 1980 from all over the world, UK, Canada, Italy, and China. And we heard about the donation that was done by the students of St. Paul's, and we decided to match it. And we ended up going quite overboard with it. We ended up raising over $2,500 just with the persons that were in the chat, in the group, and we made the donation to the children's home.
Again, director at the Children's Home, Sarah Kirkby, says that they are just so grateful to the past and current students. And she says that raising the children in the home is truly a community effort and any assistance is appreciated.
First of all, to the 7th graders, we were absolutely overwhelmed. When we went to the school, we didn't know what we were going to receive. To find out that they gave up lunch, 3 days a week was incredible. I don't think I've ever missed a meal. And for them to do that and raise $147 was great. And when we went to the school, they were so excited about it. And they've actually asked to do more with our children, which is great for us because we need that connection for our kids. I'm so thankful to the wonderful alumni all over the world, not just here in the Bahamas, but those that are in Nassau, those that are abroad. And you don't realize what that money actually does for us. Feeding 30 children takes a lot. And so it's just phenomenal for us. We do have a beautiful new home. We've been very blessed with some great gifts, but we still have to pay bills like everyone else.
Certainly good news there. And that is a look at stories making news. Let's take a look at what's happening in sports with our Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to ZNS Total Sports right here in the North. Tabernacle Baptist Academy track and field team recently traveled to Central Florida, where they took part in the Easter track and field meet. 16 athletes, along with head coach Nikito Johnson and team manager Sophia Higgs, traveled to Altura, Florida, with the team at the Santa Fe Last Chance track meet. Coach Johnson says the Falcons showed up and showed out in style.
I got 2 boys in the under-17 boys division who qualified for this year's Carifta Games. Overall, our performance was exceptional. The reception by the hosts, they were very welcoming. They were very impressed with us. They thought that our kids could not, it was just a meet where, hey, this team from the Bahamas is the real deal.
One of those athletes qualifying in the 100 meters is Isaiah Bain.
At the start of the race, I made sure I relaxed my body so I could have got a better start. As soon as I heard the starter gun go off, I made sure I was able to get a powerful drive, use my arm so I could get more elevation.
Also making the A standard qualifying mark in the 100 meters was Lyndon Johnson.
For our first official meet of the year, I feel very good. I feel healthy. I feel pretty good about my performance,
Pulling off a surprise performance was Carifta hopeful Ashleigh Hewitt.
I came first in the 100 meters, came 5th overall, and, just work hard. Do what my coach tell me, came out the blocks, did good,
Overall, head coach Nikito Johnson says it was a great turnout by his team.
At that meet, everything was so organized. Everybody followed the protocol of masks, and they kept their social distance. Everything was in place, and we could do it here. And as to why is it not happening here or not being allowed to happen here like that, it raises my eyebrow. But the most important thing is my kids needed a meet, and it was more feasible for us to go to the U.S. and even to travel to Nassau where they had a meet on the weekend. It was much more feasible to go to the U.S. And I'm happy that we did because I got to see where my kids are. They're in great shape. And right now, meets is all they need. And I guarantee you will have better performances from my kids.
Switching gears now to basketball, Cheval Butters has picked up his second NCAA Division I offer. The 6'8", 210-pound forward received an official offer from the Texas Rio Grande Valley University. Listed as a 2-star recruit by Verbal Commits, Butters is in the midst of his final season with Elevation Prep in Fort Wayne, Indiana. The Grand Bahamian native spent the previous season with Aspire Academy in Louisville, Kentucky. And that's a quick check on sports right here in the North. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
For delicious Haitian and Bahamian cuisine, your dining experience begins at Fair Play Lounge. In the Port Lacaya Marketplace, place your orders at 374-3247.
Are you tired, overweight, having trouble sticking to your health and fitness goals? Well, look no further. The Fitness Connection has teamed up with ZNS to bring you Health Bites. This and every Thursday, tune in, and we'll make sure you get on track and stay on track with your health and fitness goals. Tune in.
They say health is wealth. Well, let's find out.
I'm Jamila Mizik, and I'm here to take you on a journey into what it means to have complete wellness.
Industrial business is an industry where safety is priority. ATP Industrial Outfitters has the gear for whatever industrial environment you work in. FR fire retardant coveralls, your protection against fire. Chem splash suits for industrial tank cleaning and inspection. Hazmat suits for mold remediation and the medical field. And Tyvek disposable coveralls, protections against particulate matter, light oils, and hazardous liquids. All suits available now at ATP Ship Care and Industrial Outfitters. Number 19 Oak Street. Phone 824-2047.
Your number one news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Atalia Pinder, you are our Facebook friend of the day. We say thank you for always watching. And that is going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team, I'm Shashina Wolf-Farquharson. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
It's informative, thought-provoking, and entertaining. It's Immediate Response on the Bahamas Radio Network.
This is Spence Finlayson. Join me every morning, Monday through Friday, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for Immediate Response.
Beginning April 19th. Examining the issues you care about. So pull up a chair, call your neighbor, and set your dial.
Immediate Response, beginning April 19th.
Immediate Response.
Let's stay COVID-free. Remember the 3 S's. Sanitize, social distance, and stay inside.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the national report, COVID-19 vaccinations in high demand. Monday pulls in 45 new cases and more to benefit from the government's food assistance program. Those stories coming up when the Bahamas tonight, the national report returns.
Here are your COVID-19 isolation tips. Protecting others while in quarantine or self-isolation. While in quarantine or self-isolation, use safety measures to protect yourself and community from spreading COVID-19. Being in quarantine or self-isolation can make you feel anxious or stressed. Ensure that you take care of your emotions. Physical distancing does not mean socially disconnected. Stay connected with family and friends digitally. Keep a daily routine. Exercise daily, get rest, eat healthy, engage in activities, avoid unhealthy behaviors, and seek information from credible sources. You are not alone. Contact our hotline at 819-7652 or any of the numbers that appear on your screen.
This portion of the news brought to you by BTC's Dollar Holla Deals.
Good evening, I'm Akash Lapinda. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for joining us. At this point, thousands of residents here in New Providence, Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Eleuthera have taken the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine, forcing the need to expand the program in the very near future. With demand high, Carla Palmer tells us which family islands are next on the list.
Acknowledging the recent increases of positive COVID cases in the country, Minister of Health, the Honorable Renwood Wells, says he and his team are taking the necessary precaution against a third wave.
Well, we do have a very aggressive surveillance unit that is following up on the cases, the contacts, giving the advice to persons that they should quarantine if they've been in contact with an individual. We're testing folks who are symptomatic, and so we're doing all of the things that we did in the Ministry of Health to get our hands around our second wave. to ensure that the country does not enter a third wave.
Some 15,000 persons have been inoculated with the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine so far. Minister Wells is hoping that as more persons are vaccinated, the number of infections decrease. Harbour Island and mainland Eleuthera have been identified by health officials as COVID-19 hotspots.
We would have vaccinated Harbour Island in North Eleuthera, and we're putting additional security measures in place so that we can then move to vaccinating all of mainland Eleuthera. And so we're doing the same thing in Abaco. And so we will be able to start this Thursday in Abaco. And then by the weekend, the Abaco, I believe by the weekend, the Abaco Keys. But I know certainly mainland Abaco this Thursday. I'm not exactly sure the quantum that will be going there, but we will be seeking to vaccinate those persons for whom the committee would have laid out the guidelines as to who can step forward and receive the vaccine.
Minister Wells says recent consideration was given to opening the vaccination process further to the public, but that had to be pulled back for now to ensure sufficient doses for those residents already with appointments.
Even for the individuals that we have already decided can receive the vaccine, some of their appointments are into May for the amount of persons who've actually gone on and used the platform, because we're only vaccinating folks who would have gone through the digital platform. We had a circumstance in Grand Bahama where we had to step back and suspend the vaccination program just briefly to ensure that everyone was actually using the digital platform to be vaccinated.
With the COVID-19 vaccination rollout in progress, Minister Wells says he does not foresee any further measures of restrictions implemented as it relates to the health and safety protocols. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
Now, the health minister says he's also pleased with the overwhelming response of the 15,000 people who've gotten the jab.
No, it's not a low number, because we have, if you go down to like Ola Hall or Church of God or any of those other places, the lines are wrapped, snaking for people who are wanting to take the vaccine. And that is only for those to whom we have made it available. We have not made it available to the entire populace. So could you imagine if it was open to the entire populace, certainly the uptake would be even greater. We are seeing a lot of folks stepping forward and taking the vaccine.
Wells went further to hint that he doesn't foresee any further COVID-19 restrictions being implemented soon.
Because we see a spike one day with about 40 cases, then we see it down in the teens, and that might be due to a particular event, because, you know, this virus has a 14-day incubation cycle. So if you have a bunch of persons who get together in a particular locale and they're commiserating together, you know, and someone is positive and they would have spread it to these other individuals, you could expect that everyone exposed over those 14 days, those 10 days would end up showing up positive. So you'll end up with some of those persons positive, so you'll have a spike. Right. And so what we're seeking to do is, as we did in our press conference last week, is just to remind the Bahamian people to adhere to the health protocols. Let us continue to wash our hands, wear our masks, physical distance, and while we're deploying the vaccine.
Now, in the case of you Abaco residents, those eligible to participate in the vaccine rollout on Thursday through next Monday include healthcare and hospitality workers, persons 50 years and older, members of the uniformed branches, and school administration officials and teachers. Meantime, the second round of COVID-19 vaccinations will take place over in Grand Bahama tomorrow, Wednesday, April 14th, at the Susan J. Wallace Community Center. Appointments will be available through Friday, April 16th between 8 a.m. and noon and 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Vaccine administration will be conducted at the 8 Mile Rock Clinic on Saturday, April 17th. That, however, only for EMR and West End residents. Again, those eligible include healthcare and hospitality workers, 50 years and older, the uniformed branches, school administration officials and teachers, restaurant and retail workers, students and athletes studying or competing abroad, coaches and other support personnel, members of the clergy and the media. Log on to www.vax.gov.bs to make your appointment. Well, in the face of all this, there's another high in terms of the number of new COVID cases. 26 females and 19 men make up the additional 45 now on record. 30 on New Providence, 7 on Grand Bahama, 5 on Bimini and Cat Key, and 1 each on Abaco, Eleuthera, and Exuma. Just one person, a resident of New Providence, showed a history of travel within 14 days. The number of people hospitalized have also increased by 1 to 42, with now 39 of them moderately ill. As of Monday's count, there were 283 active cases. A total of 8,965 people had recovered, and 80,704 tests completed. Well, the price of taking a COVID-19 test not sitting well with one Family Island MP. In fact, North Eleuthera Rep Ricky Mackey deems it outrageous. This as taking a PCR test could very well exceed $130.
We can't expect persons who've been through such long hardship for well over a year and expect them to be able to fund these tests. There has to be a way where we can reduce these prices.
Mackey says here's what he recently did to help out his constituents with bearing the cost of taking the test.
As a result of the many, many inquiries and partnered, and I'd like to thank Dr. Culmer and the Wellness Center for coming together and partnering with me, where we were able to get the PCR test provided at what was most certainly a lower price than what was being offered. In the partnership arrangement, persons only had to pay $75. I picked up the other, and we did that in several areas in North Eleuthera.
Still to come, the National Food Distribution Task Force gets another extension, and we've got an update on that fire at Portuguese. Those stories and more when the National Report continues. And remember to tune in to the Morning Edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour, starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch live at 5 with Amajal Knowles, followed by the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30, and the National Report live at 7 p.m., all right here on the ZNS Network.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Home. Some say it's where the heart is, where you're most at peace, most yourself. Come home with Commonwealth Bank as we reopen our doors to the familiar comfort, amenities, and superior service that you know and love. Did you miss us, Marsh Harbor? We've certainly missed you. Welcome home.
I wanna go home.
Your home is where your heart is, but it's more than just shelter. Your home is your workplace. Your home is school for your kids. Your home is even your happy place where you play. Get the best internet connection wherever you are with blazing fast speeds up to 300 megabits per second for as low as $99.99 and installation within 48 hours. Sign up for any of our fiber packages today and get a chance to win a smart TV plus a free tablet in your second month. Call or WhatsApp 577-SHOP or 424-SHOP and sign up today. Conditions apply.
You know that feeling you get when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of our secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
Bounce. Bounce. Bounce.
It's time to bounce back with P.O.B. It's time to bounce back with P.O.B. Lowest consumer loan rates in the country. Trying to bank with no stress, we make it too easy. It's time to bounce back with B.O.B. It's time to bounce back with B.O.B. Apply today for a B.O.B. Visa credit card, debt consolidation loan, or easy top-up. B.O.B., your bank of solutions.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Some good news to tell you about tonight. The National Food Distribution Task Force had been set to complete its work at the end of March, but Cabinet has approved another extension. Head of the Bahamas Feeding Network told our Cleopatra Murphy about the impact the initiative has had in more than 9 months of its existence.
Government is pumping an additional $10 million into the National Food Distribution Task Force to extend its feeding initiative for another 3 months. Executive Director of the Bahamas Feeding Network, Philip Smith, also a member of the task force, says the extension will take the program created to provide food for Bahamians adversely impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic to the end of June.
We had a total of 36 million. We had 16. And then in the second phase, we had 10. The third phase, we had 10 million. And now the fourth stage, we're going to have another $10 million.
The National Food Distribution Task Force comprises several organizations, including Lend a Hand Bahamas. Now entering a new phase, Smith says it represents a $46 million investment by government.
So we are distributing to 17 family islands and 1/3 of the population in Nassau. So, you know, we want to congratulate the government, really. It's $46 million that they would have invested so far since June of last year. So they must be congratulated. It did go a long way in helping a lot of people.
Still, he believes with the level of need still great, government may have to consider a further extension of the food parcel distribution to September. Smith explains how many people are still accessing food through the task force.
We're looking at about 18,000 families. So you're looking at probably 72. So we estimate about 4 persons per family. So you're looking at about 72,000 individuals that's benefiting.
Smith also painted a bigger picture of just how many lives have been touched since the program was launched.
Since June of last year, we have distributed 138,000 parcels, and we estimate that a parcel would provide 50 meals. So we distribute every 2 weeks, and we estimate that a parcel would provide 50 meals. So you're looking at about 6.9 million meals that we have provided over that period.
While the task force is assisting less people than at the start of the pandemic, Smith says many families still require the assistance the body provides. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
An intense investigation continues into that massive fire at the eastern side of the Portuguese dock late Sunday. Officials have since confirmed that 6 stalls were destroyed. 2 others, along with a sunken fishing vessel, were damaged. There are also signs of heat distress along the foot of the eastern Paradise Island Bridge. Portuguese vendor Gregory Bowles among a number of vendors, luckily unaffected by the blaze. He says following a meeting with Agriculture and Marine Resources Minister, the Honourable Michael Pintard, on Monday, several questions and considerations remain on the table.
How soon the rebuilding process can begin and how soon they can get back to work. What the fire department is telling us, they have to conduct their investigations first, and as soon as they have an answer for us, we can go ahead and start the cleaning process and the rebuilding process. Going forward, they want to try to move with some more fire retardant material in building structures back. So that's one of the main things we're looking at now.
Though also spared from the tragedy, fellow vendor Celestine Lewis says the incident is etched in her memory.
I got to call around
after 11 that my establishment was on fire. I said, what? My daughter called me and she said, Mommy, I understood Portuguese dock on fire and I stole and get catch. I said, what? So I lay down for a moment and I say, man, God, I can't believe this happening to me. I say, anyway, so my brother who lives there with me, he said, sis, let's go check it out. So I said, okay, let's go. Because I really wasn't coming because I realized that at that time it's like after 11, curfew time, we ain't supposed to be on the road. And even though when I came out yesterday, I had my customers, them looking for me to say, you're not open. I said, I can be open and all this experience. I just experienced something traumatic. How can I open for something I got to say to make money? Money isn't the issue right now. It's people who hate it, who lost their establishment.
Well, the Portuguese dock sits in the Freetown constituency. Area MP, the Honourable Dionisio Diagler, acknowledged last evening that he was horrified as he watched the incident unfold.
Mr. Speaker, this could have been far worse given the weather, had it not been for the swift action of our firefighting warriors. Mr. Speaker, our hearts go out to those persons who have lost their businesses and lost their jobs. And I know that this government and this Member of Parliament remains in these extremely difficult and challenging times committed to assist in whatever capacity we can to start the process of rebuilding livelihoods destroyed by the fire last night. I do give God thanks, however, that the fire did not endanger or take any lives. While losing one's worldly possessions can be painful and financially impactful, losing a life can be so much more devastating and sorrowful.
Now to news from Parliament. Senators will begin debate on the Prospect Ridge land resolution this Thursday. This following a full day of debate in the lower chamber on Monday, with all agreeing to the proposal late last night. The resolution paves the way for an upscale housing community to be constructed in Western New Providence for young professionals under 45 years old. Wrapping things up, Marco City MP and Agriculture and Marine Resources Minister, the Honourable Michael Pintard, said he's pleased that the government is making every effort to change the trajectory in the way land is governed.
There is a large number of young people, and I found it laughable. However, it was unfortunate when I heard 250 being dismissed as an insignificant number, considering the thousands who still need homes. 250 persons who have families is a significant number in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and only those of us who are secure in our homes could believe for a moment that 250 persons in a leasing arrangement, a renting arrangement, would not find that thoroughly empowering for them and their children and their children's children yet unborn. And so, Mr. Speaker, this is a move in the right direction.
House Speaker, the Honourable Halston Moultrie, lamenting the constituency's commission not meeting as scheduled. Moultrie noting that the only members turning out recently was himself, who serves as the commission's chairman, and the Member of Parliament for Exuma and Ragged Island, the opposition's deputy leader, Chester Cooper. He also used the opportunity to note the challenges the Commission has experienced with receiving up-to-date data from the Parliamentary Registration Department. And this despite an analysis indicating that there are two constituencies, Golden Isles and Killarney, with nearly 7,000 voters, and 13 constituencies with between 5,000 and 6,000 voters. According to the Speaker, 8 constituencies here in New Providence have between 4,000 and 4,900 voters, and the St. Barnabas constituency between 3,000 and 3,900 voters.
As chairman of the commission, I'm making a public appeal to the honourable member for Killarney to request that the commission be provided with the updated statistics from the Parliamentary Registration Department by Friday of this week. It is in the attention of the chairman of the commission to conclude its sitting on the 19th of April, which is Monday following. It is impossible and impractical to give a reasonable report on recommendation without the empirical data. The last time the commission received data was on the 22nd of February 2021.
I want to say, get thee behind me, Satan, that there is no truth at all.
Southern Shore's MP Frankie Campbell there vehemently denying claims made in a viral video that he fathered a child outside his marriage. Campbell telling Parliament last evening that the issue was brought to his attention while out of country, adding that he finds the mere thought of such an allegation repugnant. And to those behind the allegation, he says,
I'm taking the necessary advice. I don't bother with anyone. I don't pick any fight. But I'm not going to run from any fight either. So get ready. Let's bring it on. Let's bring it on. My family didn't sign on for this. You want to see Frankie Campbell? See me. See me. Leave my family alone.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
At BPL, we are building for better. And that starts with improving customer relations for every single customer. Whether it's your home or business, big or small, we want you to know that you are important to us and that providing you with efficient and reliable energy is our business. Through increased efficiency and our hedging strategy, we've been able to decrease your bills significantly, a much welcome relief in these trying times.
I pay close attention to my BPL bill, and I've noticed a continual decline since July of last year. I'm so happy I can open my bill and know that it's steadily becoming more manageable.
As an entrepreneur, I've seen my electricity bills for home and business go down. This is amazing because now more than ever, it gives businesses and everyone the break they need to not only survive, but to succeed.
At BPL, we're proud of the early success of our strategic plan, and we look forward to consolidating the gains we've made. With more improvements on the way, we are continuing to build for a better future for all of us.
With 99% of medical claims paid in under 5 days, we're like that spider that doesn't climb in your shower. CG Atlantic. Insurance, health, pensions, life. Good like that.
The Bahamas Bureau of Standards and Quality, or BBSQ, ensures better business practices in the Bahamas through the development and promotion of voluntary and mandatory national standards. Standards are guidelines which ensure that goods and services are produced with the safety of consumers and the environment in mind. BBSQ has developed standards for the manufacturing of bottled water. All vehicles brought into the country are also subject to standards. We have protocols for the poultry and egg production industry. National standards also apply to the construction industry. We are setting quality management and quality assurance guidelines to ensure that medical laboratories are competent. Standards help businesses to reduce expenditure, improve customer satisfaction, access new markets, reduce environmental impact, increase market share, and innovate. For consumers, standards provide improved choice, lower costs, greater assurance, compatibility, consistency, and better product information. We believe that standards matter to everyone, everywhere. We are the Bahamas Bureau of Standards and Quality, where quality is our standard.
BBSQ, coming for through. You, for me.
This year has been difficult for many of us. Our small and medium customers have especially faced tremendous challenges during this time. And so I'm ecstatic to tell you that we here at BTC have created a number of plans specifically with our small and business community in mind.
Well, we're so excited about what we've been able to introduce for our small business customers. That community, as you know, was really devastated last year. You had some persons taking advantage of the opportunity and being able to launch new businesses during that time, but then there were also persons who had a really difficult time. We were able to surprisingly launch one of our, what we call our passion bundles, whereas we were able to give our business customers up to 600 megs in download speeds. And this was really phenomenal because there's nothing ever that's been done, but that sector in the industry, the brick and mortar stores, persons who pretty much operate from wherever they are. In addition to the 600 megs bundle, which we call our elite package, we've also bundled it with what we call our corporate mobile plan. And that allows our business customer to get a handset subsidy of up to $400 to apply to any device within our range. And so what we did is we mixed our fixed services, which is our high-speed fiber up to 600 megs, with our corporate mobile plans to be able to give back to our customers during this time.
Very soon, we'll be rolling out even more programs specifically for our small and business community. In the meantime, be sure to call our 302-7200 number for 24-hour technical support. These are still the moments that move us. I'm Corbell Pyfrom. Continue to be well and be back here next BTC Connection.
Put some spring back in your step with the specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Mullis Ready Cut Macaroni, 16-ounce box, $1.99. Rainbow Evaporated Milk, large can, 98 cents. Bluebird Juices, 46-ounce size, $2.99. Danish Spare Ribs, $2.59 per pound. Idaho Potatoes, 5-pound bag, $2.99. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Double stamps on Sundays at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Portion of the news is brought to you by the Pest Destructo Company. We are your best solution.
Officials have begun a probe into the deaths that occurred during 2019's Hurricane Dorian. Police confirmed that DNA evidence is being used in the matter. Officials reported that dozens of people were reported killed when the Category 5 storm ripped through Abaco and Grand Bahama in September 2019. Minister of State for Disaster Preparedness, Management and Reconstruction, the Honorable Pakeisha Parker Etchka, meantime, assuring Hurricane Dorian victims in Grand Bahama and Abaco that the government has not abandoned them. She acknowledged that the wait may have been long in bringing a conclusion to the plight of those affected, but says the government is doing the best it can considering all the devastating natural occurrences that have taken place.
In countries such as the United States that has so much funding, and even other parts of the world. Hurricane Katrina did a devastating thing in New Orleans, and as of today, they continue to build. The Bahamas is no different than any other country. We have a lot of growing pain. That does not necessarily mean we're not addressing the issues, but we will acknowledge our challenges and also state that we are going to continue to give what we can and help as much as we can. But their concerns are legitimate. When you've been devastated and hurt by such a hurricane, your only thing is that you want to get back into your home and go on with your life. We're there with them every step of the way, and in spite of the challenges, we're going to remain there.
With the 2021 hurricane season just over a month off, Minister Edgecombe assures that her ministry is working to address the setback.
Those concerns were the fact that some of them are indicating that the voucher system that we would have had, they hadn't received what they were approved for yet. Many persons were approved, but because the system has to take place, there's a lot of checks and balances. While we want to assist individuals, we also want to ensure that there aren't any persons that are taking advantage of the system. We have to be accountable with the government's funds, as well as we have to assist those who were hurt, devastated by that hurricane. And so that would have been one of the main issues that we would have gotten from the ground, that they were approved and they just needed the help in getting the vouchers that they were approved for.
Residents in St. Vincent and the Grenadines woke up this morning to another eruption of the La Soufrière volcano. A huge explosion that spewed gas and ash over a wide area of the island prompted concerns about the safety of residents who have not evacuated the area. International media report that the St. Vincent and Grenadines government had ordered about 16,000 people who live in communities close to the volcano to evacuate after the island was put on red alert due to a shift in volcanic activity at the volcano's crater. The United Nations said the entire population of the main island is without electricity or clean drinking water because of the eruption and the ash from the volcano. We turn our attention now to news from the police, who are reporting that an altercation between two men Monday ended with one in the morgue. Police said it was shortly after 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon when they were informed that two men had gotten into an argument on Key West Street. One of the men drew a knife, stabbing the other multiple times about the body. That victim was taken to hospital, where he later died. Police have since arrested a 23-year-old man in connection with this latest homicide. Police are meantime awaiting the results of an autopsy report to determine the exact cause of death of an apparent drowning victim. From all reports, officers were called to waters off the former Pioneers shipping dock on Bay Street just before 9 this morning. There they fished the partially decomposed body of a male from the water. The victim's identity is unknown. The matter is under active investigations. An American visitor getting more than he bargained for when he set off for the Bahamas. He was arrested Monday at the Lyndon Pinling International Airport for drug possession, namely marijuana. The man is expected to be charged in a magistrate's court later this week. Meantime, those 11 Haitian nationals arrested following last Thursday's multi-agency operation over in Abaco were yesterday formally charged. Jacques Pierre, Claude Calix, Joseph Jean-Baptiste, Nicolas Petit-Homme, Lucien Delia, Cassandra Felix, and Estefanie Jean all pleaded guilty to illegal landing and were subsequently convicted. They were fined $300 each. Failure to cough up that money could lead to a 12-month prison stint. Meantime, Richardson Jean maintained his innocence to illegal landing. He was remanded until trial. Leven Salomon, Efraid Esteve, and Jean-Louis fessed up to overstaying and were jailed as well. The men were fined $1,800, $1,300, and $1,200, respectively. Failure to pay could find them serving 12 months at the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services. Now, upon payment of fines or custodial sentences, the group will be turned over to the Department of Immigration for deportation. Members of the diplomatic corps signing the official book of condolences on the passing of Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, at the temporary houses of Government House yesterday. British High Commissioner Her Excellency Sarah Dixon and Cuban Ambassador His Excellency Alejandro Garcia del Toro extending their condolences. As a reminder, members of the public will be able to sign the official book on both Wednesday and Thursday between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. at Government House, 1 Montague Place, East Bay Street. Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A brand that you get your family guardian.
Hey guys, it's Shay again with another quick tidbit on the perks of being an Alive customer. Now, if you're already on our network, this may just be a refresher for you, but if you're not, this might give you that extra push. If you're interested in getting a bill every month, or you're interested in the best prices on some of the latest devices, or if you've been a little bit interested in that auto pay option, this might be for you. It's time for you to join postpaid and experience opulence.
Simply put, being an Alive postpaid customer means you selected the plan of your choice and you then pay for that plan routinely every month. Unlike prepaid, where you can fluctuate between 7-day and 30-day, all postpaid plans are 30-day plans. So what are some of those postpaid plans? We have our Liberty More, which is $59.99, gives you 10 gigabytes of data, 500 talk and text minutes. Or we have our Liberty Premium, which is $99.99 per month and gives you 20 gigabytes of data, 1,000 talk and text minutes. Or we have our Liberty Elite, which is $149.99 a month, includes unlimited data, talk and text, and 1 gigabyte of roaming data. Again, all of our plans include unlimited Alive-to-Alive calls and text. Now listen, we also have postpaid MiFi plans. That's right. If you have a MiFi device, you can purchase postpaid data plans, MiFi Basic, MiFi Plus, and MiFi Preferred. So what else can you look forward to? Even though we are still practicing social distancing during this time, as a postpaid customer, you not only have access to exclusive offers and devices, but exclusive invites to virtual events hosted by Alive in partnership with local vendors and access to special offers at many vendors on our List Rewards app.
So there you have it. If you're a prepaid customer and you've been thinking about making that postpaid switch, we hope that this helped. If you're not an Alive customer, what are you waiting on? Alive, believe in best.
Samantha's always on point. She doesn't miss a thing. When she signs up for any insurance policy, she reads all the fine print. She knows what's covered, what's not covered, and she's aware of her deductibles. When it comes to insurance, it pays to know your policy. Review every insurance policy so you know what you're covered for. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas.
When you want to save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you want to look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Kill COVID-19 with KOC. Tested in an EPA-certified lab, KOC multi-surface cleaner kills in seconds and lasts up to 48 hours. KOC can be used on hard or soft surfaces, even safe on fabrics. KOC, distributed by D&T Environmental Cleaning and Air Conditioned Services.
Today is a day for fun. Today is a day for family. So why should yesterday's worries affect my today? That's why I insure my family with J.S. Johnson, because their mission is to provide us with the best insurance coverage possible. With J.S. Johnson, I know my family comes first, so I take comfort in knowing that they always have us covered, providing us with a great today and an even better tomorrow.
J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
At this point, Grand Bahama residents are still wondering if a meteor struck the island last night. Apparently, a bolt of light was seen in the skies sometime before 10:30. Based on what residents shared with us, it caused the island to shake.
I said maybe somebody hit something to the house. We weren't sure, but we didn't see anything. And so I began calling other family members and friends, and I posted on social media, did anybody feel the tremors that I felt? And so everyone started to chime in that they also felt that their house shook.
It was around 10:25, 10:26 at night when I was washing my hair in the shower, and I saw this really bright light come through the window, and I shook it off because I thought it was lightning. Then shortly after, I heard a faint noise, which I thought was coming from my phone, and then I felt a subtle shake. That's when I came out of the shower, and I checked my social medias, and then I realized that other people saw and felt the same thing. Then as the night went on, we found out that it was a meteorite.
My daughter and I, we went outside actually on the phone with a couple of our friends thinking, okay, it might have been a plane or some kind of explosion, but there wasn't any fire or anything. Power was still on. Until I was able to sit down and was like, okay, let me just Google to see if anything happened. But never thinking that it would be a meteor.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makishna.
Now, before we get to those temperatures, what actually happened in Grand Bahama last night?
Well, we had some meteoric showers taking place. It happened a little earlier than anticipated. We expect those activities to begin actually tomorrow night, but they got started a little early. And meteoroids, what are they? What are these meteoroid showers? Well, we do know that the Earth orbits the sun, and periodically the atmosphere of the Earth passes through these debris, which we sometimes call space rocks. And these space rocks, they enter the Earth atmosphere at extremely high speeds. We're talking about 25,000 up to 166,000 miles per hour. But as they get into the lower portion of the atmosphere, it encounters friction of the Earth atmosphere, and that friction leads to these debris exploding, and that explosion leads to the fantastic display of lights that you see sometime in the sky, and that is generally at times followed by what we call sonic booms. And these sonic booms can lead to vibration, which can be up to about 2.0 on the Richter scale if you're talking about earthquake measurement. So that is what Grand Bahama experienced last evening. They experienced a sonic boom as a result of the explosion of these debris that were entering the Earth's atmosphere. The peak of this activity is expected to be anywhere between the 21st and the 22nd of this month. That is Wednesday and Thursday of next week. And so there could be more rounds of that kind of activity taking place. And there's a secondary round of that will come sometime in early May. So these are not unusual things, but they're not generally seen all the time. But it has been predicted that they will be seen between the east coast of Florida and the northwest Bahamas.
Well, thanks, Basil. Now on to our weather. What can we expect tonight and moving ahead?
Well, let's start you off with outdoor conditions. We are under sunny skies, and that's going to lead to clear skies tonight. So if there is an eruption again tonight, because of the clear skies, this will be perfect conditions in order to view those kinds of activities. 77 degrees is your current temperature, relative humidity on the dry side at 53%, and that means temperature is going to be a bit cool tonight. Winds out of the north at 7 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,016.3 millibars. That's 30.01 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 77s in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Grand Torquay. Marshall, Barbacoa, 78 degrees, 79 in the Berry Islands. Allenstown, Bimini, 80 degrees, 80 also in Harbour Island. Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 79. Allenstown, Cat Island, 79 degrees, 79 in Staniel Key in Exumas. Kemps Bay, South Andros, and Fresh Creek, Central Andros. Another string of 77s in San Salvador, Rum Key, and Georgetown, Exuma. Ragged Island, Clownstown, Long Island, and Crooked Island reporting 78 degrees. Betsy Bay, Megona, 77. Ackland, 77. 79 in Machutan, Inagua, and the Turks and Caicos Islands. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Pink Setup. For all areas tonight, north to northeast winds 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. High tide takes place at 9:50. Tomorrow, for all areas, the winds continue that clockwise rotation, becoming northeast to east. Speeds unchanged at 10 to 15 knots with wave heights 2 to 4 feet. High tide tomorrow takes place at 10:05 in the morning. Low tide at 4:10 in the afternoon. On Thursday, for the northwest and central islands, southeast to south winds, speeds just around 10 knots or less. Wave heights 1 to 3 feet over the ocean. High tide on Thursday, 10:41 in the morning, with the low tide at 4:44 in the afternoon. In the southeast, Bahamas on Thursday, we have a more zonal flow. Zonal meaning winds blowing out of the east, speeds also around 10 knots or less, wave heights 1 to 3 feet over the ocean. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Rollstar Assurance.
I don't want no heat. I don't want no dirty scone to stuck between my teeth. I'm feeling some whiskey, I then play that out. All I want is that sweet juicy crab in my mouth. I want me some crab sauce. I can buy that crab house. I want me some crab sauce. I can buy that crab house. I want me some crab sauce. I can buy that crab house. All I want is that sweet juicy crab in my mouth.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Rollstar Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
And I was so hungry, I had money in my pocket, but
With 99% of medical claims paid in under 5 days, we're like that spider that doesn't climb in your shower. CG Atlantic. Insurance, health, pensions, life. Good like that.
Your home is where your heart is, but it's more than just shelter. Your home is your workplace. Your home is school for your kids. Your home is even your happy place where you play. Get the best internet connection wherever you are with blazing fast speeds up to 300 megabits per second for as low as $99.99 and installation within 48 hours. Sign up for any of our fiber packages today and get a chance to win a smart TV plus a free tablet in your second month. Call or WhatsApp 577-SHOP or 424-SHOP and sign up today. Conditions apply.
In this age of spin, when so much information is suspect, people are searching for information they can trust. The answer? A closer look.
We made tremendous progress with respect to reducing the deficit.
The fact that there will be more infections suggests that there could be more deaths.
But if it is more transmissible, and those strains are all more transmissible, then it means that more people will get infected, more people will have symptomatic disease.
Something about metering.
You're not going to be able to owe BPL $10,000, $20,000.
That situation is in order now, eh?
As you load up that meter, you can use your power.
We in essence, have done something with a health travel visa that's going to help our tourism product.
A closer look with Anthony Newbold, where you get the facts you can believe in. Mondays at 8 p.m. and Wednesdays at 9 a.m. right here on the ZNS Television Network.
We've heard your concerns about the COVID-19 vaccine, and we're here to give you some of the facts. The COVID-19 vaccine is absolutely safe and effective. We've seen that it definitely helps prevent people from getting severe illness and from death due to COVID-19. So people should take this vaccine, firstly to protect themselves from severe illness and death. But they should also be taking this vaccine to try and help the country get herd immunity. So while you may be sitting on the fence wondering what the vaccine might or might not do, right now, you can be sure that the virus itself can certainly make you ill at any age, in whatever physical condition you may be in. If you have comorbidities, diabetes, hypertension, and even obesity, do make sure that you get your COVID-19 vaccine as soon as it becomes available to you.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports. Well, Bahamians heating things up on the track. Devin Charlton became the 7th Bahamian athlete in track and field to qualify for the Tokyo Olympic Games, the 2nd Bahamian female sprint hurdler to do so, posting a time of 12.84 seconds in the women's 100-meter hurdles at the 2021 Miramar Invitational on Saturday. Charlton ran a 12.84 in the heats and came back in the final and finished 6th overall in 12.85 seconds. The other Bahamian female hurdler to qualify for the Tokyo Olympics, Drea Seymour, ran 12.88 seconds in the heats and finished 7th overall in the final in 13 seconds flat. Seymour qualified earlier in the qualifying period. Qualifying time for the 100-meter hurdles is 12.84 seconds. Charlton and Seymour have both performed well this year and both appear to be peaking at the right time, with the Olympics just 3.5 months away. Charlton and Seymour were both under 13 seconds for the first time this year on Saturday and are now at number 5 and 7 in the world, respectively. In baseball news, B.J. Murray continued his stellar sophomore season for the Florida Atlantic University Owls and produced a career-best hitting stretch at the plate. The Owls dropped a 4-game set to the Charlotte 49ers, but Murray hit a home run in each game of the series and batted .467 with 7 hits and 8 RBIs. In Game 1, Murray went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs, including a run-scoring single in his solo shot in the 3rd inning of the 9-5 loss. In the first game of Saturday's doubleheader, he went 2 for 4, including a solo homer in the 2nd and added an RBI single in the 6th, as well as scoring 2 runs. Murray's 8 home runs and 69 total bases are now tied for the team lead in each category. He's also 2nd on the team in both RBIs and runs, and 69 total bases also include 6 doubles and 2 triples. And that's been a look at sports. More news when we return.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
It's informative, thought-provoking, and entertaining. It's Immediate Response on the Bahamas Radio Network.
This is Spence Finlayson. Join me every morning, Monday through Friday, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for Immediate Response.
Beginning April 19th. Examining the issues you care about. So pull up a chair, call your neighbor, and set your dial.
Immediate Response, beginning April 19th.
Immediate Response.
Tommy was there at the latter stage of my life, but ran the 100 together. And I'm the only Bahamian. Remember this? I'm the only Bahamian who beat Tommy Robinson on the 100-yard.
Okay.
Remember that now. As a matter of fact, I had the opportunity to serve Prince Philip.
Okay.
I was the head waiter. And the waiter...
We've heard your concerns about the COVID-19 vaccine, and we're here to give you some of the facts. The COVID-19 vaccine is absolutely safe and effective. We've seen that it definitely helps prevent people from getting severe illness and from death due to COVID-19. So people should take this vaccine, firstly to protect themselves from severe illness and death. But they should also be taking this vaccine to try and help the country get herd immunity. So while you may be sitting on the fence wondering what the vaccine might or might not do, right now, you can be sure that the virus itself can certainly make you ill at any age, in whatever physical condition you may be in. If you have comorbidities, diabetes, hypertension, and even obesity, do make sure that you get your COVID-19 vaccine as soon as it becomes available to you.
This is Sandra in my pearls and my top that I lent her with my husband. Where you get these from? What's this? The bills, man. The bills were just coming in.
Man,
and I had
Sister
to pay.
Ron,
Oh,
Sister Ron.
Pastor, you know how things is.
Sister Ron, you are a woman of God.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know in Job it says, shall a man rob God?
Oh, no, Pastor. No. I wouldn't rob God. No.
Legend, a story that has been passed down for generations. In our history, there are numerous untold stories. This is our legend.
In these dreams, I love you so that by now I think I know what it's like to be loved by you.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, as we get to our satellite picture, high pressures in control of our weather. We can expect mostly clear skies during the night, lots of sunshine during the daytime, and those winds going to fall off very nicely. So if you're into boating, this is your week to get out there and enjoy the open waters. As those wave heights, they're going to be 2 to 4 feet at times, even falling light and variable as well. The night, we are looking at clear and still on the cool side, a little cooler than it has been last night. We're looking at about 65 degrees for your low temperature tonight under mostly clear skies. And tomorrow, very nice day shaping up and lots of sunshine, high temperature around 80 degrees. Your extended weather forecast over the next 7-day cycle. Once again, in the low 80s right into Friday. Things start to warm up as we head into Saturday. We'll see some mid-80s as we get into Sunday and the early part of next week. Nighttime temperatures, we're going to keep you nice and comfortable right through Thursday. Friday, not too bad, even though there's a slight warm-up there, getting you to about 70 degrees for a low temperature, and then we'll hold you into the low 70s for the rest of the way. Kishna?
Thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team, thanks for watching and good night.
It's informative, thought-provoking, and entertaining. It's immediate response on the Bahamas Radio Network.
This is Spence Finlayson. Join me every morning, Monday through Friday, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for immediate response.
Beginning April 19th. Examining the issues you care about. So pull up a chair, call your neighbor, and set your dial.
Immediate response beginning April 19th.
Immediate response.
Legend, a story that has been passed down for generations. In our history, there are numerous untold stories. This is our legend.
In these dreams, I love you so that by now I think I know what it's like to be loved by you.
This is Sandra in my pearls and my top that I lent her with my husband. Where you get these from? What's this?
The bills, man. The bills were just coming in,
Man,
and I had to pay.
Sister Ron.
Pastor, you know how things is.
Sister Ron, you are a woman of God.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know in Job it says, shall a man rob God?
Oh, no, Pastor. No, no, no. I wouldn't rob God. No, no.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.